we are lucky to have our media partners. Many of you are people we see, we know. But today you are sitting with us today, going to strengthen the partnership with you, because that is the way we want to go as will I say a team, because we are 4 organizations led by National TB Control Programme. Our program manager is here, who is actually representing Ghana Health Service. We have Stop TB Partnership Ghana. We have TB Voice Network. We have Score TB, and we have Hope for Future Generations. It is very important to know that TB kills people more than HIV. You will not believe it. Every day, 4,000 people are dying of TB globally. And in Ghana, today, Dr. Yaw Adusi-Poku was telling me 124. So people are dying, but we don't know. So we thought it's only HIV that killed people. We thought it's only malaria. But TB people die. And I would like to thank many of you, especially NSM, who really coordinated this program, bringing all of you together. We are so grateful. So these local NGOs, being led by National TB Control Programme of Ghana Health Service, is actually doing this with us. It's a 1-year program, but you know government is already there, and you'll be hearing a lot about TB. It is a partnership that we want to build, not only TB, but to see how we can work together with you. I know many of you are doing a lot of work. You are frontline, I was just saying, you are frontline workers. COVID came and were the people telling us what COVID has brought to us in this country and globally. And we cannot do development work without media. We already do a lot with media, and I think this is just to strengthen our partnership to see how we can work together and also see how we can really reach out to the most vulnerable in this country and also send information, education, behavior change, communication, all those interventions. So this is just a short interaction that we're going to have with you. Ask questions, let's see how we can build this relationship going forward. It's going to be a stronger relationship because we want to see how we can work closely with media. You cannot really do much if you don't bring the media on board. Because media is everywhere, and everybody listening to you. And we think that you are the most strategic partners that we have, and we need to see how we can move forward with this, with all other interventions that we make. So thank you very much. Again, on behalf of Stop TB Partnership, TB Voice Network, Hope for Future Generations, Score TB, we have 4 organizations working together, being led by National TB Control Programme of the Ghana Health Service. Again, thank you very much for making time to be part of this. Thank you.
I bring you greetings from the Director General of the Ghana Health Service and then the Director of the Health. My name is Yaw Adusi-Poku. Good morning. Good morning. Madam has said a lot. I was just telling her that she was very brief, but said everything. Yes. So we just add the meat. So this will be the outline, a quick one, as she indicated. It is interaction, and therefore it is interaction. So here, what we need to know about TB in Ghana. Okay, so TB is caused by a germ. We call it a bacillus because it looks rectangular. Mycobacterial tuberculosis. Every day, 30 people lose their lives. Every day. So 30 divided by 24. You agree with me that about 2 people die every hour. Every day, 125 people fall ill. And this is serious. And the sad thing is that we don't hear now about this disease. In 2018, our president of Ghana went to the United Nations General Assembly, the whole world, including Ghana, was given a target. And this is how we fared. From the target was between 2018 and 2022. So if you take the whole world, 26.3 million were treated for tuberculosis. If you take Ghana, and so it is 66%. Ghana, we did very well. 66.9% were treated for tuberculosis. If you come to multi-drug resistant TB, the whole world, 43% were treated. Ghana, we did 41.4. So we missed the target of about 2%. Now, if you come to children being treated, the whole world, 54% were treated. Ghana, 34% were treated. So which means that we didn't find most of the children. However, there have been a lot of treatment going on. Confirmation, for instance, saw 50 children, you can't believe it, only confirmation, who were markedly ill in 2022. 50 children. So, what everybody must know about TB? What is it? Our friends, the media, what must we know about TB? TB occurs when the germ enters the body and you have a yes. So the spread, how is TB spread? It's spread from one person to the other. So this is the person who has TB. How is he spreading it? He coughs, sneezes, so not just the coughing. So if you have a loved one who is sneezing and sneezing, be careful. So some people can get it just after 6 months, the person is down. Why? It depends on a lot of factors. The person is malnourished, the person doesn't eat well, the person is drinking, the person is smoking, the person has HIV. These reduce your immunity. The person has cancer. The person is on treatment. Treatment like what? Radiation. The person has a transplant, bone marrow transplant. The person is a diabetic. So these things will facilitate what? The disease, bringing out the disease. Some can harbor it as long as also 10 years patient before the person starts expressing the symptoms. Please, am I talking? Am I talking? Or I'm frightening you? That is the fact. So, the quality of life. Now, when somebody has the disease is not just within the person, it also affects the family members. As soon as we diagnose, we give him the medicine, and you are okay. And it's also part of IRSA, isn't it? God doesn't frown on that. So the impact is huge. They lose money. 64% in 2016, we did a research, indicate that all TB patients in TB families, 64% are poor. And the kind of poverty we describe is called catastrophic cost. What is catastrophic cost? When 20% or more of the family income is used for treating the disease. So they sell their cows, they sell their chickens, they sell their goods. Now, what are the essence of what I've mentioned? Number one, the fact sheet about TB is clear. Every day, 30 people die, 30 persons die in Ghana. Every day, 125 persons fall ill. It's clear. TB is not from witches and wizards. When the person who has TB shouts, coughs, we have cough etiquettes. Cough into your elbow. Not, excuse me. These things. So and TB affects every part of the body. Every part. Some people who are having issues with delivery, becoming pregnant, sometimes the TB is just TB that is doing that. Both the man and the woman, low sperm count can be TB. So other thing that we also want to say is that we have to create awareness, and thank you for coming. Awareness creation is very, very important. And then there should be involvement of the community, involvement of the health system. When you say health system, it cuts across from the community to the health sector, to the politicians, to the basic politicians, the MC, the DC, the metropolitan chief executive. So, TB is real. Last year we got the whole Ghana 16,650 persons fell ill to TB. This year, because of the strategies between the Ghana Health Service and the civil society, it may go up. Thank you very much.
Okay, so me myself, I've taken the medicine for 6 months for 2011. I coughed for more than 3 months, as Dr. Rightly said. I went to the hospital every week, every 2 weeks. I was at the hospital. And they will keep on giving you a higher antibiotic, giving you a higher medication for cough. And then TB maxima is like that. It is only one medicine that can cure it. It doesn't matter. The Wintia, the Cadro, or you name it, whatever you take. It is only one medicine. And our medicine is also free. You don't pay for it. And diagnosis are what? Free. Alright, so quickly, let me talk about the deadly divide. This is going to be the introduction. And then so let me summarize before. I like to always summarize before I do the presentation enough. In 2018, the UN, the United Nations, held the first ever high-level meeting on tuberculosis. That was in September 2018. And this brought head of states across all board to come and make commitments, okay? Make ambitious commitments in their respective country in ending the TB epidemic. So, Ghana was part, our president was there, other African countries. In fact, it's a global thing, so every country pledged as to what he wants to do when he comes back to his country. To implement what he has declared at the UN. So, Ghana also made some commitments in 2018 that when we come back, we need to look at how best we can support the program to be able to end TB epidemic. So we have the deadly divide, we have the commitments, and then what has been done. So what was committed, and what, when we came back, what have been achieved or done, what we declared to be at the UN. So Ghana was also part. We also made our pledge. And this year, September, is it 23rd or 22nd? 22nd, the president will go again with the minister, with the entourage, to the UN to go and give an account of the 2018-2022 commitment, which is signed on. So we are expecting him to go and tell the world that 2018, when he came, we said this, and this is what we have done so far. So that is it. That is just a summary of what I'm going to talk about. And this is what the deadly divide is all about. So the deadly divide was informed globally by civil society organizations, persons infected and affected with TB was part of those who developed the deadly divide. We have developing countries like Ghana, also part of the Stop TB Partnership Geneva board. Then we also have developed countries also sitting on the board of the Stop TB Partnership Geneva, including persons infected and affected with the disease. So the Stop TB Partnership Geneva is an umbrella body also fighting and supporting other countries with support, with funds, especially civil society organizations, community organizations that work in TB specifically to be able to find the missing TB cases globally. So there's a huge gap here. If you look at persons living with HIV, they even overachieve their target because we're looking at 6 million and then by 2021, 10.3 million. Because they don't need to do contact tracing because they are the ones taking the medication themselves. These are what we are asking, reaching all people through TB detection, diagnosis, treatment, care, and prevention. And also making the TB response right-based, equitable, and stigma-free with community at the center. Accelerate the development of and access to essential new tools to end TB. Invest the funds necessary to end TB. So these are the six key acts that is coming from civil society, community members affected with TB, developing country NGOs, globally, asking governments that these are the areas we want you to put premium on when you go to the UNHCR meeting. Make sure it's
a national platform, and it's in all the countries, Togo, Ghana, Benin, across the world. And then all of us fall under what we call the Stop TB Partnership, which is with the head office in Geneva. And the man who had just introduced himself is the head of the global office. And so he's mentioned that he's a vice chair. In actual fact, the vice chair is the chair. It's just like saying the vice chancellor. If I don't do that, it means my boss has come and I get ready to protocol. Normally his movement are by now they'll be asking if you write officially to them, you will ask police to follow him here. Because he's resident here, we are free to have him without police. Am I right? So all protocols observed. Is that right, my boss?
As a student, I had to prepare my papers. So I was raised on TB medications. Like you said, TB, even you see in our slides, you look at TB prevention, we talk about diagnosis and all those things. Being affected by TB, you don't normally get a smooth process and you know that, okay, I'm affected by tuberculosis and you are put on medication. Sometimes the period of testing for the tuberculosis and being put on medication, there's a time gap in between. So I got tested, I was putting on medication, I started treatment and I was adhering to medication because that's what is going to save my life. So when we read the documents, that is our deadly divide. We have civil society organizations and we have community members. So I'm a community member of tuberculosis, which is a cured TB patient. But due to the community and the civil society interventions, I was found by ancient NGO, which has supported mutual maintaining in tuberculosis. Psychosocial counseling provided for the adherence support provided for the and other interventions for the as well. And also I'm now staff of because of tuberculosis. And I'm very grateful to the organization for all the support they have given to me over time. Because TB, but it took me through hell, brought me out. I'm just so happy that I'm part of each other because of TB. Thank you.
Before it became the TB Impact GH app, it was called the One Impact. So a little background to this. Stop TB Partnership Geneva. It's the organization that made it possible for this training. It is the donor that granted the funds for future generations alongside Stop TB Voice Networks, Stop TB Ghana as well. So we are working together. So last year, HFFG became a grantee under the Civil Society, the Challenge Facility for Civil Society Round 10 grant, and then we implemented the TB Impact project. Now, this year there is a scale-up of the project, which is the Round 11. And this app is central to the TB Impact project. This is a new innovation that helps us to collect data. We use the people affected by TB. So when we say people affected by TB, we mean those who had it, who are cured of it, or those who are currently living with it. So the whole point is that these people can lead the implementation of the TB project in their, or the TB response in their countries. So Ghana is a grantee, and then we implemented this. This app helps us to assess the kind of services that is being given to people affected by TB. So, and then they also measure the quality of the services. And then we also assess, or it's give us a platform to learn about TB. So there's a component which you can get information on TB. There is also a component where you can get access to facilities that have TB services. And then there's also an open forum where you can interact with other people of the TB community. So the app is also a learning platform for all of us. And then we can go back and then get information. Get information provides you with the basic information you need to know on TB. So if you have some time today, you can open the app and learn all the basic information you want to know about TB. It is Dr. Adusi-Poku gave us a presentation on TB. And so for detailed understanding, detailed knowledge, you can go back to the app and read about TB. So if you want to know the facilities where you can get TB services, you come to get access. So at your right hand corner below, down below, right hand corner, click the setting icon. The setting icon, click and then extend your range. You see there's something called proximity, so extend the range. Then go back and then click on the 3 bars below the setting icon. So you see, you can find hospitals, clinic, and then health center. So check all of them. When you check all of them, it means that you want to see hospitals, you want to see clinics, you want to see health centers. If you check one, then you are limiting your options to just one.
So this app is not just an app, it's a tool. It's a tool that helps, first of all, for keeping an interactive platform with TB clients, with caregivers as well. Because you get it's quite informative. It's not just only giving you information about TB, it's also giving you information about where you can get services. Meaning that it's like creating demand for, because you may have the best health service, best health center. But if you don't create demand for that health center, people will not access it. So it's also creating demand in a way. But most importantly is when those problems are being, trickled. If it trickles in that there's a problem here, it is the program
the program needs to be in sync with the two. To also be able to just on a dime and say, and call that facility and say, what is happening here? This is what is happening. So it's not always all the time that you think that because you are complementing that effort, so you can have access to do everything at the same time. No, you need partners, you need people to be involved. There are people who can easily, solve a problem without even going through, through the protocol.
The Code of Ethics of the Ghana Journalists Association. And if you are able to follow the Code of Ethics as we have them, they will help us to navigate TV reporting with ease. And sometimes we have the solution, but we don't look there. So the Code of Ethics tells us that at all times, the journalists should uphold and defend the principles of media freedom and independence. You have to report the truth. If someone doesn't have TV, you don't report that in truth. And if they do, the Code of Ethics also helps to understand how to report them. The journalist is supposed to uphold the public interest and the rights of the public to be informed. He or she is also required to make adequate inquiries and cross-check his or her facts before reporting. The journalist should make and verify the source of every information. The journalist should recognize the public's right to fair, unbiased, accurate, balanced, and comprehensive information. The journalist should place accuracy above speed in all forms of publications. I believe we know why we need to place accuracy over speed. It's just so that we are sure what we are putting out is right. If you rush and put out information that turns out to be false, you would have done yourself and indeed your audience a disservice. And we don't want that to happen. We also need to provide a list of trusted sources to our journalists. And if you are a health reporter, I believe that we all have our list of resources. When I met Madam Cecilia, I didn't know her, but she's actually a very popular person on my phone. And I call her a lot, we speak, and we have not met before. So Madam Cecilia and the other experts who have that information must be on your speed dial. You must have an address book where all these experts are available, so that in case you need them to cross-check some information, you can call them. And today we've learned from the app that there are experts there, the health workers, who can themselves also provide information to you just by doing them. So the importance of accuracy, the context of your reporting, and how you balance this report. If you are accurate in your reporting, you are able to prevent the spread of misinformation. And you also reinforce public trust in journalism. It's a profession we all met. People built it. You don't have to destroy it before you leave. So it's important to be accurate so that people who come after you also benefit from the work you've done to improve journalism. There's also the importance of providing relevant background information about TB, if you are reporting, its prevalence, the risk factors, and broader healthcare landscape to aid the audience understanding. And I'm sure when we leave here, the reports we file will be cross-checked. The context will be provided. So when Dr. Adusi was speaking, he gave us data. So that's what we need to provide in being accurate and getting the context right. We need to balance the report by speaking to all those who matter to this. All those who matter, the patients, the person taking care of them, the expert, and their family. So we also need to be sensitive about persons who are treating TB, because there are people who are struggling with a disease that needs support. So you need to be sensitive and show some empathy with them. In speaking to someone who has TB, you need to get their consent, an informed consent, and to also ensure that their privacy is protected.
I would like to add something to what my brother has said. I think we also need to go through the patient's charter. If you are a health reporter, it's something that should be at your fingertips, because it will help you to know the rights of patients and then their responsibilities. Issues also under. And also, it is not, we should know this as well, it's not every story that must be told. It is not because it has happened, so it must be told. What is informed? Why do you want to publish it? What do you want to achieve? What impact is it going to have on the patient, on society? So, that's one of the things that we should ask ourselves if we are doing a story. Doing a story on the TB patient. What is your motivation? What's going to be the impact on the patient and society? Thank you.
Thank you.
People are terribly suffering, and which is okay, because then it also brings the consequence home. It's part of the awareness creation. But I tend to, and Fred will tell you sometimes, I tend to focus also on the brighter side, so that you are, for instance, I told a story about childhood cancer. I got a child who has battled cancer and is surviving. And childhood cancers are actually curable. But there are a lot of people suffering and they do not know that they are curable. TB has cured and people do not know that. So maybe in our health reporting, if we focus a lot more on that aspect, where we tell people, this is the situation, but you can also get this at the end of the day. It inspires hope, and it takes away a lot of the fears as well. So I think just so that we are guided by that. And we tend to do a lot of the appeal stories, like appeal for fun stories. Oh, somebody is sick, needs to go attend to the hospital. Yeah, it is good. God will bless us. It is advocacy. But maybe if we focus more on some of these inspiring stories, then we'll be reducing the numbers in a way that we may not particularly measure, but it will bring us some positive effect.
In the Western world, we have people specializing in terms of like health reporting. They do sports reporting, and I'm happy that at least you made like health desk, and it's really difficult. I know it's challenging for a lot of people down here, because what is the incentive? Because the question I will ask you, what motivates you to write some of these? What are the incentives for you to go into just reporting on health? And some people even narrow themselves so down that they'll be reporting on specific diseases and all that. What are the incentives? But again, what I want you to know is that with TB, I think we're all at risk. TB is no respecter of person. It doesn't need any accreditation or visa to travel from one country to another or from one person to another. And the mode of infection is something that should be alarming to even you, the press. As we are sitting inside this room now, if I had very active TB, I'd be coughing, and we'll all be receiving it. And as we are receiving it, people who have obvious, reduced immune system will be grabbing it. High-level meeting is meant for member states. Member states, when I say member states, countries. So they sit down there, they discuss, they decide everything, and they finalize. But before that discussion happens, it means that experts will come in, civil society, private sector, they all have a stake in the whole system. So they all come in to discuss what they want to see in the political declaration, because at the end of the day, something will have to come out, something tangible, which is the political declaration. And that political declaration is what we now use to hold both the UN, the member states accountable to say, you said you're going to do this, you say you're going to put this in this and that. So if that political declaration is not strong enough in terms of clear, measurable, and all that, it means that you have just English language in it. You don't have anything to do. So that was the first high-level meeting in 2018. It was big, and it was the first time. So we made our mistakes. We, did everything. But at the end of the day, the political declaration that came out from the 2018 was a little bit strong because it came with targets. It came with targets suggesting that countries should be able to do so and so. They said reaching 40 million people, with TPT, which is prevention treatment, so it came with a lot of both diagnostics as well. So good targets, that 2018. Then we are hit with COVID. So but before COVID, we were not on target because the money was not in terms of the resources that were supposed to back such pledge. Countries were not putting in the money. In terms of domestic resources. At the global level, we already know that the global fund, if we are receiving 100% from global fund in terms of money that goes to global fund, what goes to TB is 18%. So these are political decisions. I say political decisions in the sense that TB is the #1 infectious killer in the world. And with the evidence that we also have, and they have, everybody have, is that TB kills more than malaria and HIV put together. TB kills more than them, but TB received the lowest, 18% from that disease split, that disbursement that comes from 100%. HIV received 50%, malaria received 32%. And when they speak about it, they said there are political reasons why that should happen. So are we playing politics with people's lives? Those are the kind of language I want to see in your reportage. Okay, so now, in this high-level meeting now, we had after the 2018 high-level meeting, annually, the UN Secretary General is supposed to be reporting, giving a progress report where we are in terms of, we had about 5 key asks. And that 5 key asks came as the
able to develop a national strategic plan that are evidence-based to be able to drive whatever it is that the TB care program we are doing in the country. Let's go to, when you read the document, you find more of the details. The next one is to ensure all national response are equitable, inclusive, and gender sensitive, and then right-based. Right-based means that people must be seen as human beings that need to have certain services, and so therefore we must do everything possible to ensure those services are available for them as a duty from duty bearers and government for that matter. The third key is to accelerate research. So research and development in TB operations or activities in the country is very important, and this should include technologies using the most effective tools that are available. So I love the TB impact, which is one of the tools to use in gathering data to inform TB programming and TB service delivery in the country. The fourth key has to do with funds. We are just simply asking government, private sector, and everybody who have resources to make sure they invest. And this is a political declaration, therefore, government have been asked to commit to making resources available, just as the President of Ghana, for example, made resources available for COVID. If we can make the same kind of commitment to TB, even if it is only 10%, 20% of that 100 million facility he gave to COVID control, if we could have $10 million annually in the next 7 years.
We can convert the contribution, the COVID levy to this.
The fifth one is to prioritize TB across health systems or systems of health. And so it means that we are asking governments to go into their various countries and make sure that they ensure TB is part of all the structures of government facilities. from the highest facility to the lowest. In Ghana, we're talking about from the teaching hospitals to the cheap compounds, where universal health coverage is expected to be delivered. Final one is to ensure decisive and accountability framework. This means involving all stakeholders, especially civil society, to be part of an accountability framework to be implemented by the president in their various countries. Hopefully, these keys are going to drive what we see as a commitment, or they are going to be converted into commitments in terms of amount of monies, in terms of targets to be achieved, in terms of participants in the various programs in the countries for government to sign on to on the 22nd of September 2023. All of us media are invited. We have said that already. Make sure that if you want to be part to monitor these stories, just let us